Hey guys, welcome in Mastering Angular 15 from Beginners to Advanced course. In today's lecture, we will explore the dependency injection in Angular. Dependency injection is a design pattern where a class receives its dependencies from outside rather than creating them itself. Next, what is injectable? Injectable is a key decorator in Angular, primarily used in association with services and any class that you want to be available for dependency injection. This is our Angular application in which we will create the service. For the creation of service, we can use Angular CLI, which we have used in our previous lecture. But now I'm going to create service directly. And for that, first we need to create a file, and then we need to write demo.service.ts. Now in this file, first I'm going to write the class export class demo service. Until now it behaves as a normal class. For dependency injection, we need to add this decorator @injectable, which is loading from the Angular core. Now in this service, I'm going to create this function getGreetings, which will return a message. Return welcome to DI world. Now this is our service which we can manage by the dependency injection. And let's copy the name of this service. Now if we want this service is available in our component, then in this component we need to write this providers and paste the name of this service here, which means if we want to use this service in any component, it must be available through dependency injection in this component. Now let's create its object through di in this constructor. Now by using this service, I'm going to call the greeting function in this component's ng on in it. In Angular, we only need to use the service using dependency injection. We can't use service directly like this. In this way, component is only focused on the functionality, not on the object creation. Angular dependency injection aims to decouple the implementation of services from components. This eases testing, overriding, and altering of services without affecting the components dependent on these services. Next is provided in. With Angular 6 and later, the injectable decorator introduced the provided in property. It determines where the service should be provided and instantiated. There are different options in provided in. First is root. This means the service is provided at the root level and it's a singleton for the entire application. Second is some module. You can also provide services at a module level. This means the service will be available wherever that module is imported. Third is platform. You are specifying that the service should be available in a special singleton platform injector shared by all applications on the page. Last is any. A new instance of the service is created for each module that needs it. However, within that module, it remains a single shared instance. This is different from the root, where there's only one instance for the whole app. And this is our service which we have created already. In this, we haven't created any option of provided in. Now let's add it in injectable decorator. Provided in. Now if we want its object singleton, then we need to write root here, which means that it will have single instance throughout this application. Now if we want to add on module level, then we don't need to write it in the quotations. So by provided in, we can create the service instance on root level, which will be singleton or per module or per platform. But most commonly used one is root, so that we can use it throughout the application. After using provided in our service, we don't need to include it in providers at module or component level. And this was a provided in which is managing the life cycle of service. Besides this, it also have another benefit. If we don't include this service in any component by using dependency injection, then Angular will exclude its code from the compiled version, by which our application size will be small. Now if we inject the services hierarchically, then we have different levels of injector. First is root injector, in which service services are available application-wide. Second is module injector, in which services are available to a specific module. Third is component injector, in which services are specific to a component. Then there is a service lookup, in which Angular searches for a service instance from the components injector up to the root injector. Now let's talk about the benefits of services. First is modularity, which extracts dependencies from the components or classes. Components focus on core responsibilities, independent feature development and maintenance. Second is reusability. Singleton services by default, consistent data across the components. DI handles service lifecycle. Third is testability. It simplifies mocking for unit tests, isolate component logic during tests. Angular test that supports easy mock replacements. So this was the today's lecture. Hope you understand it. If you have any question or query, you can ask in comments. But if this lecture is helpful for you, then guys, please like, subscribe and share my channel. Thanks for watching.